Hello, my name is Cameron Asgarizadigan and you're watching another episode of Cam's Camera Talk. If you're a good fan and you watch all of my reviews, then you may notice that I'm wearing the same clothes as I was in my Mad Max review. It's not because I'm a scruff, it's just because I filmed that about 10 minutes ago. So ultimately I didn't want to go and change. Also, I'm sort of running out of clothes that I haven't worn before. But anyway, you're not here to hear about how I'm not a scruff, you're here to hear about the Hateful Eight. Here it is. Going into this film, I actually knew very little about it. There was like 2 really boring trailers released for it, and then a lot of hype about the fact that this is the 8th film written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, and the fact that also the title had the word 8 in it. Clever. But yeah, from what I saw in the lead up to this film, I really wasn't impressed at all. And then I watched the film. This film is crazy. And also crazily long. With a runtime of 3 hours, you need to make sure you get all your snacks and your drinks and everything before you go and watch this film. Where do I start? So there are 8 main characters in this film, as the title would suggest. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all their names. So you've got Samuel L. Jackson and 7 other people. This is a bit different from Tarantino's usual approach in the fact that it's not crazy violent throughout. It does get crazy violent in some parts, but it is in short bursts. For this film there is more of an emphasis on dialogue. And Tarantino does have some very good dialogue in this film. I loved how these characters were interacting with one another. And the N-word. Oh my gosh, the N-word. There were more uses of the N-word on this film than there probably is in a Jay-Z album. Sometimes I thought it was necessary, and then other times I thought it really wasn't. In Django it made more sense that that word was going to be used a lot more because of the story. It was about a slave who broke free. So yeah, of course people were going to refer to him as that. Long story short, Tarantino may think he's black, but he is not. Arguably he could be the whitest man who ever lived. So there is a really long period of build-up in this film. I'd say the first half of it was all build-up. But it worked for the film, because this is ultimately sort of a mystery. So having a long period of tense build-up worked in its favour. It added to the tension. And then round about the halfway point, this film gets weird. It gets real weird, real fast. When you're watching it, you may be thinking to yourself, well, it's not that weird yet. Maybe I've missed the point where Cameron was talking about. You didn't. Trust me, you're going to know it when you hear it. It's uncomfortable, I'm not going to lie to you. But you can tell that Tarantino is kind of trying to make the whole thing a little bit funny. But it can't be funny because of what it's about. I'm going to say something a little bit controversial now. Maybe the fact why people are liking this film so much is simply the fact that it has Tarantino's name attached to it. I'm glad I gave this film a few days before I actually got round to giving it a rating, because when I first saw it, I immediately thought, yeah, this is really good. But as the days have moved along, I've reflected a little bit more on this film, and I can't help but just pick it apart a little bit, and sort of find problems with where the narrative ends up going. And although I still think the film is good, I just didn't think it's as good as I originally thought it was. If you are a Tarantino fan, then you definitely need to give this film a watch. I think that this may have been a film simply for Tarantino's fans. The dialogue is good, the violence is good. So all in all, I am going to give The Hateful Eight a double thumbs up. Anyway, I hope you've liked what I've brought for you today. If you have, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter at Cam's Camera Talk. There's a link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. So you've got Mad Max, Mad Max 2, Mad Max 3 Beyond the Thunderdome, Happy Feet,